Hello, welcome to my historical recipes. Today I would like to bake with you, and I would like to bake something with you that goes with the season of Lent that has just started. You probably know it because it's the Brezel. Bretzels are known both in text and also in depictions since at least the 12th century. We know that they are associated with Lent, with fasting, and that even the shape originally had some kind of religious meaning, most probably. The name comes from the Latin word for arm, brachus, and probably this Brezel shape is a depiction of someone with crossed arms, probably as a form of prayer. Now, the nice brown crust of the Brezel comes from boiling the dough before baking it in lye, in a solution of lye. Lye, or caustic soda, as it's used also now by professional bakeries, is, depending on where you live, a little tricky to get by. And also you should use precautions, that's gloves and goggles. But fortunately, you can have exactly the same effect simply with baking soda, and this is what we are going to do today. Let's have a look at the ingredients. I got here 400 grams, that's about 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. I have 1 cup of lukewarm water. I already dissolved some yeast in warm water. And I have salt here. The other ingredients, now honey we'll also put into the dough a little bit. If you don't want to use honey, you can also use any kind of fruit syrup, sugar syrup, concentrated grape must, these kinds of things. This is the baking soda, 70 grams, that's 2.5 ounces. We will use that later afterwards, and the coarse salt is also for afterwards. Now we simply make a dough out of the flour, a teaspoon of salt, we add the dissolved yeast, and a good tablespoon of honey or syrup. And I slowly add the warm water to obtain a rather soft, not too firm, but neither liquid dough. Okay, that's it. And now we cover the dough with a clean cloth and leave it to rise for 1 hour. Okay, the dough has risen nicely and is nice and soft, as you can see. Give it another quick knead. We take those little dough balls and shape them a little thinner at the end. Give them a twist, and like that. Press a little, and number 1. cover them and leave them for another 30 minutes. I add the baking soda, 70 grams, about 2.5 ounces, into the boiling water, and this is what it does. Yay! And now I quickly boil each of them, the Bretzels, for a few seconds. And the water should boil again. And it's a chemical reaction that will then, when I bake them, will make the crust brown and crunchy. I took some of the baking soda cooking water and I will quickly brush them with a little more in order to then sprinkle them with coarse salt before popping them into the oven. I've preheated the oven to 225 degrees and they are supposed to bake about 12 to 15 minutes.